Alrighty, so we are going to go over how to download AutoCAD here. So if you go to just up here in the browser, as you can see, I'm already at AutoCAD, but we're going to just start from the beginning here. So we're going to go to, you literally just go to autodesk.com, like so, and it will bring you to this screen here. Now, once you are at this screen, you want to come up to sign in right over here and click on that, and you'll have three options here. You'll want to go to the very bottom one and click sign in again. Once you get to sign in, it's going to ask you to, of course, sign in. Or if you don't have a login for Autodesk already, you can click create account. Now, if you already have a login, just log in like you would normally any other thing. But if you don't, go ahead and click on create account. You're going to type in your first name and your last name, and then your email address. Now, this will normally be your school email address for the sake of this tutorial. Since I've already used my school email address myself, I've got a temporary one that I've generated here. So it's going to ask you, of course, to confirm that again, and then make a password, which can be whatever you want. Just make sure it fits the minimum requirements that you saw listed there. In fact, I'll show it again. So it needs at least one letter, a number, and 8 characters, and 3 of them just have to be different. So I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to do. So there we go. I've made a password. Of course, you'll have to agree to their terms and conditions. But once you've done that, you'll click create account. After that, you'll see this screen here where it says an account has been created. You can leave this check marked if you want to. It just means they're going to send you like marketing emails and stuff like that. If you already get enough emails as it is, you can uncheck that box if you want and just click done. Now, once you have done that, you'll be brought back to this screen here, as you can see. So what you just need to do is go up here where it says free trials and click on that. Once you get to free trials, you'll see a selection of the different Autodesk programs that are out there. Some of them will look a bit familiar, but the one, of course, that we want is basic AutoCAD right here. Don't select AutoCAD LT. It is not the same thing, and obviously the rest of these are not the same either. So just make sure that when you get to the screen, you click on AutoCAD, and once you do that, you'll be brought to this window here. And there's a big red button that says download free trial, and that's what you'll want to click. I know it says for 30 days, but actually we're going to set this up so that you should ideally get probably 3 years of free use out of this, which will be plenty of time to finish the stuff for TJC. So once you get here, just click on download free trial, and it's going to ask what product would you like to try. If you have just a standard Windows PC, then you just want this first option here, AutoCAD. But if you do have an Apple or a Macintosh, you will need to select the second option here. Now, I am running on a standard Windows PC, so I'm going to stick to the first option here, which it is already pre-selected, and I'm going to just come down here and click Next. Now, this screen here just tells you kind of some of the things you need to be aware of before you download the software. The first is, of course, the platform, which is Windows 64-bit. Don't worry about that. More than likely, that's probably what you've got. It's telling you the size of the file, recommended internet connection. None of this is really important for you to download it. You just can skip all that and just go to next. Then it says, I will be using the software as select one. So it gives you 2 options, a business user or a student or teacher. Obviously, for our classes and whatnot, of course, we're going to be selecting as a student or teacher. Now, once we do that, the button down here will change to go to Education Community. So you'll want to click on that, and that will bring you to this screen here. Before it will actually let you finish setting it up here, you're going to have to click Complete Profile because it wants you to make your education profile. So just click this big red button again. It will ask you to sign in again. So just make sure you do that. You put in your email address just like you did before. Hit next. It's going to ask for that password that you made earlier, so just type that in and sign in. Give it a second here. And then it's going to say that you should get right here a verification email. So I have that here, so give me 1 second. So this right here is what the email will look like. It'll come from Autodesk. Make sure you check your spam. because it is possible that your junk filter or your spam filter may pick it up. But you should get that email almost instantly. So once you do, you'll just click on it, open up the email, and it will look like so. And you'll have a big verify email button, and all you need to do is click that. And then you'll get this notification that your account has been verified. So you can just click done, and it'll bring you back to here. And if your email doesn't automatically send you back to here, you can, of course, come back to the first screen you were at, and it says get verification email, you could hit that again, but or you can just hit back and it will take you to the previous screen as well. If mine will load, never mind, it's not, so just ignore that. Anyway, it should bring you back to this screen though, is my point. So now that you've done that, let me try this one more time. Mine is goofed up. So we'll do that, verify. There we go. So I had to sign in again, and that might happen. You may have to sign in a third time. But once you do that, you'll get these options here. So the first one is country or region, territory. You'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see United States right here. Educational role. You've got 4 different options here. Obviously, for most of us, the correct answer is going to be student. And then institution type, you're going to want to pick university or post-secondary. Then you're going to want to put in your date of birth. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to, do that there. Don't care about the That's not my date of birth, but we're just rolling with it. So name of educational. Now this is important. You do need to actually make sure you put in this here, and you'll see it once you start typing it in, it'll start to populate some possibilities. And once you just do Tyler Junior College is the only option available. Then it asks you for the area of study. Ours is not listed here, so you can just click others. And then enrolled from, I just did December 2019. And graduate. Now, here's the important thing. For the graduation date, you probably don't want to put your actual anticipated graduation. You want to put it for about 4 years out. That way you can kind of get the maximum amount of trial that they're willing to give you. So, with that being 2019, I've got 2020, 21, 22, and 2023. So just do that and hit next. And it says your account is now updated to access the Autodesk Education community. You'll just hit continue there. Boom. Notice the big red button is now gone. So here we have 3 pull down windows. We have to go through them one at a time. The first is going to be version. Of course, the one we want is going to be the latest, AutoCAD 2020. Then the operating system. We've got, for me, it's just going to be the one. This is the one that's required for Windows 64-bit. Once again, if you are on a Mac computer or an Apple computer, you may see something different, but usually it's the first option that pops up is usually the one that you want. But if you have any issues, you can reach out to Mr. Bayless or myself, and we will try to help resolve that for you. After that, you want to do your language. I'm sure for most of y'all that's going to be English, but if you can read or another language, then by all means go for it. Now, after you do all that correctly, you'll get all these check marks, and then it will generate a serial number and a product key. Now, that's really important. You want to make sure that somewhere you save this information, because if for some reason it gets uninstalled or anything like that, it may ask you to re-input that to verify the license. Of course, you could always make another email address to get the trial again if you needed to. But if you just want to save the hassle and you don't want a bazillion email addresses, just make sure you save that information somewhere. Take a photo, write it in your computer, something like that. Anything that helps you. But anyway, once you do that, you will now see this Install Now button. You'll click on that. You'll, of course, have to accept the terms and conditions. And once you hit Install, it will begin. Now, I've already got it installed on my computer, so I don't want to mess up my stuff by trying to do it again. But once you click that button, it should start the installation process. It may ask you, a couple of things that you just need to hit accept or next for, but it'll pretty much take care of the installation by itself at that point. Once again, if you have any issues with this, by all means, reach out to Mr. Bayless or myself, and we will do our best to help you. If you want to download Carlson or Civil, we will make another tutorial for that. We will keep this information posted on my YouTube channel, and we'll also put it on Canvas, and we'll keep a link in the Discord as well. So once again, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any issues with installation for this software, so that we can try to help whoever is available. If your system can't run it, that is a possibility. I normally recommend having like an i7 processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM for something like this. And if you've got any less than that, you're going to have a hard time. So just letting you know. I know some people have said that, their family members are trying to get them to install it. And, by all means, they're more than welcome to show them this video or anything like that. But anything less than that, it may not work properly. It may crash. And there's nothing wrong with your installation or even really anything wrong with your computer. It just doesn't have the capacity to effectively run the system. If you do run into that issue, once again, just let us know and we'll try to help you out. We know things are very confusing, and that's why we're making these videos, and we've got the Discord server set up so we can try to make this as painless as possible. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and if y'all have any questions, just let me know, and hopefully this helps y'all out, and I hope y'all have a good day.